I myself was really deep into drugs back in the 80s, and I know how tough it is to get out of that mess and then get pulled back in. Arnel Pineda has dealt with pressure before, but this time it felt different. After a rough night on one of the biggest stages in the world, he went on social media and did something most artists would never do. He opened up completely. He shared his doubts, his tiredness, and asked a question that surprised everyone. Was it time to quit Journey? This wasn't a trick. It was real, honest, and straight from the heart. What came next, both his words and the fans' reactions, became a big turning point that changed everything. How pain shaped a star. Arnel Pineda was born on September 5, 1967. He came into the world at St. Luke's Hospital, Jude Thaddeus Diagnostic Clinic in Tondo, Manila, and he is the oldest of 4 siblings, so he naturally became the big brother who led the way. Life was hard growing up, but it felt a bit easier when his mother Hospicia, who he called Ima, the Kapampangan word for mama, was still alive. She was the strong one in the family. She was tough, brave, and totally honest. Even though money was tight, Ima worked hard to give her kids a good start. She put Arnel in a Catholic school because she believed church-based schools were still the best choice in the Philippines. Arnel did well. He was a smart student and went to the same elementary school as his younger brothers. Teachers often compared them, but the boys were okay with it. They were proud of their family. Outside of class, Arnel was super active. He sang in the school glee club, acted with the Rondalla group, and performed at school events whenever he could. At one school program, he sang a Karen Carpenter song, and people were confused why he picked a woman's song. But for Arnel, it made total sense. His mom was a huge Carpenters fan and always sang the Diasaisha ear songs at home. That music got deep into his heart. Even back then, you could hear his amazing range and natural talent. He didn't just sing the notes, he owned them. Before he even finished elementary school, Arnel got his first taste of national attention. He wasn't on a quiz show, he was the performer. Representing his school, he sang Ganito Kami Mahal by Celeste Legaspi and made his debut on national TV. It was a small thing, but it meant a lot, and it was only the start. But just when life seemed okay, everything fell apart. In his last years of junior high, Arnel's mother died after a long battle with rheumatic heart disease. That loss changed their whole world. The hospital and funeral costs used up everything they had. The family broke apart under all the stress. They couldn't pay for school anymore. They lost their home. The siblings were separated and sent to live with different relatives. Arnel tried his best. He visited them when he could, but for years they hardly saw each other. As a teen, Arnel ended up sleeping in public parks or crashing at friends' places when they had room. He stayed in school as long as possible, but finally he had to drop out. Surviving was more important. He took any job he could get just to have enough food. In an interview with ABS-CBN, he said those days were really dark. He got into drugs and alcohol, feeling totally hopeless. At one point, he even said he wished he was dead. But even through all that pain, something inside him wouldn't give up. He kept going. He didn't know when, but he believed deep down that something better was coming. Singing through the struggle years. In 1982, at just 15 years old, Arnel Pineda became the lead singer of a local Filipino band called Hijos. It was a huge step for someone so young, and right away he brought his brother to live with him, but their place was rough. They lived in a convenience barted warehouse, sharing it with roaches, rats, and mosquitoes. Still, for Arnel, it was better than before. After everything he'd been through, having a roof and a chance to sing felt like progress. He started performing at spots like Shakey's Pizza on Taft Avenue in Manila, building his confidence on small stages. A few years later, in 1986, some guys from Hijos got back together and formed a new band called AMO. That same year, they won a national band contest called Rock Wars. It felt like the music dream was finally taking off. Around this time, Arnel became a dad at just 20 years old. He got married later and had another child, but both relationships ended. He even tried going solo for a bit, but the timing wasn't right yet. In 1988, AMO made another big move. They won the Philippine part of the Yamaha World Band Explosion and got to the finals in Hong Kong. Things were looking good, but then a rule problem messed it up. They had performed Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody to win in the Philippines, but the finals required the same original song from the local round. Since Bohemian Rhapsody wasn't original, they got disqualified. Still, the band kept going. They opened for Robert Palmer in 1989 and played clubs all over the country in Quezon City, Olongapo, Makati. One popular spot was California Jam in Olongapo, a club loved by U.S. military guys nearby. By 1990, Arnel and some AMO members formed a new group called Intensity 5 and tried the Yamaha World Band Explosion again. This time, Arnel won Best Vocalist and the band came in first runner-up. That same year, things changed again. 5 original members left their leader, Ulysses Ablang, and joined Arnel to start a new band called New Age. It happened right before AMO released their only album, Antukin na Amo, which had a radio hit called Running Away. The leftover AMO members formed another group called Boss Band, while Arnel and New Age started regular gigs at a place called Fire and Rain in Makati. Then came 1991, and a huge turning point. During one of their Makati shows, a talent agent saw Arnel and the band. They got offered jobs in Hong Kong at a famous spot called Grammy's, a big entertainment restaurant. So they packed up and moved. In Hong Kong, they worked super hard, performing 6 nights a week from Tuesday to Sunday for years. But in 1994, after a bad breakup, Arnel faced a new problem. His health got bad and it almost ruined his voice. He went back to the Philippines to rest and heal. For 6 months he hardly sang, but slowly his voice came back and so did his energy. He returned to Hong Kong and jumped right back into performing. By 1998, a new chance came. The owner of a horror-themed restaurant and nightclub called Agor's asked his band New Age to play regularly. They went with the theme, dressing up as skeletons and changing their name to the Rolling Bones, the bands that built Arnel's rise. In 1999, something huge happened for Arnel Pineda. He got noticed by Warner Brothers Records. Even though he was living abroad, he flew back to the Philippines on his days off to record his first solo album. It was called Arnel Pineda, a self-titled project with 10 original songs. Most were slow, emotional ballads that really hit your feelings, though a couple were upbeat and one even had a Latin feel. One song, Ikaw Rin, which means You Will Cry Too, became a huge karaoke hit across Asia. Another track, Sayang, meaning too bad, was always on the radio. What made the album special was that Arnel helped write and arrange several songs himself. Even with all that, he kept performing live. He stayed on stage with his longtime band New Age, keeping that live music connection strong. In 2001, he added more to his story by working with the popular Filipino band South Border. He sang on a song called Looking Glass from their album The Way We Do. That same year, he met a new group with a fresh sound. They ended up calling themselves 9mm, and they quickly became popular, playing regular shows at big places like Hard Rock Cafe in Makati. Then the next year, the band went international with a 3-month gig at The Edge in Lang Kwai Fong, one of Hong Kong's hot nightlife areas. By 2004, things changed again. 3 of Arnel's old New Age bandmates got back with him, and this time they added a female singer to share the lead. The group became most wanted, and they hit it hard. They did long sets, 3 to 4 hours a night, 6 days a week at the Cavern Club in Hong Kong. Even on Sundays, their only day off, they still performed at Filipino community events. That hard work never stopped. The moment everything changed for Arnel. In 2006, Arnel Pineda was at another turning point after years of working hard in music. He got encouragement from a respected Filipino talent manager and TV director, Bert De Leon. That push was enough. Arnel moved back to the Philippines with his longtime guitarist and friend Mon Torralba. Together they started a new band called The Zoo. They brought in Emil Bondoc on bass, Edgar Mendoza on keys, and McCoy Alcantara on drums. The group signed with De Leon's Sundance Entertainment Corp. By the end of that year, The Zoo was rocking clubs all over Manila and Olongapo. Night after night, they played 3 to 5 hour sets, working non-stop to build their name. By the next year, Arnel and The Zoo had a solid reputation for covering classic rock bands, especially Journey. One big fan, Noel Gomez, started uploading their performances to YouTube. Nobody saw it coming, but halfway around the world, Journey's guitarist Neil Schon was watching. Journey was in trouble. Their lead singer Steve Augeri had left in 2006, and the band needed a new singer fast. When Neil reached out to Gomez about contacting Arnel, the singer thought it was just talk. He figured it was one of those fake offers in the music world. But this was real. Neil Schon wasn't just watching. He was giving Arnel a chance to try out for one of the biggest rock bands ever. Once it hit him, Arnel took the first flight to San Francisco. Getting that audition wasn't simple. Getting a U.S. visa from the Philippines is tough. But luck helped. The embassy officer who approved Arnel's visa had seen him perform before and remembered him. Everything lined up like a movie story. After a week of tough auditions, Arnel Pineda became Journey's new lead singer. But even with the dream job, reality hit hard on his first show night. It was February 2008 in Chile, and backstage Arnel was so nervous he almost quit before going on. The band wouldn't let him. They pushed him out there. When he finally stepped on stage, the crowd went crazy. Critics loved how much he sounded like Steve Perry, Journey's famous original singer. From that night, everything was different. One day he was in small clubs, the next he was in front of 30,000 fans in stadiums. Arnel didn't just make it, he did great. He got comfortable on big stages fast, but it still felt unreal. Even years later, he said it felt like a dream. Being in Journey kept changing his life in ways he never expected. By the time Journey hit its 13th year with Arnel as singer, the band's popularity had grown even more, and their biggest song, Don't Stop Believin', got a huge new boost. It didn't make big waves when it came out in 1981. It didn't even get mentioned in Rolling Stone's review of the Escape album back then. But over time, things changed. In 2010, a cover of Don't Stop Believin' blew up because of the TV show Glee. That version reached number 4 on the US charts. Suddenly, kids were singing a song their parents loved. Around the same time, Arnel's story was in the news too. People were amazed how close his voice sounded to Perry's, and the energy he brought gave Journey fresh life. The song's comeback from Glee and its famous use in The Sopranos finale introduced Journey to a whole new group of fans. Kids who never knew the band were singing every word. Bassist Ross Valerie said it simply. Journey stayed popular because families passed the music down, but those TV moments did more. Now young people who didn't grow up with the band knew all the lyrics by heart. With that kind of reach, one thing is obvious. This band, this voice, and that classic song aren't fading away. The night everything fell apart. After a bad night on stage at Rock in Rio, Arnel Pineda went on Instagram and poured his heart out. He didn't hide anything. He was exhausted, stressed, and really wondering if he should stay with Journey. It wasn't just one bad show. It was everything building up. The pressure, the endless touring, and trying to meet crazy, high expectations. For months, Pineda and Journey had been on a non-stop tour. City after city, show after show. That schedule wears anyone down. For Arnel, it finally caught up. He said the constant travel, back-to-back shows, and no rest had hurt him bad. His body was breaking down. His voice, usually strong, was tired, and at Rock in Rio, it all exploded. He fought through tech issues, tired vocals, and huge emotional stress that fans don't see. He later talked about how hard that night was, not just on his body, but his mind. He said being Journey's singer means more than hitting notes. He puts his whole heart into every song. But he's his own worst critic. Every small mistake bothers him, even on songs he's sung hundreds of times. With fans always comparing him to Steve Perry, he felt like no matter how good he was, someone would say he wasn't enough. But he didn't run from the hate. He posted a video from Rio where he struggled with notes in Don't Stop Believin' because of bad ear monitors. Then in a long Facebook post, he thanked fans for support but shared how hurt he felt. He knew he messed up, and it killed him inside. He said it was crazy how one bad night could erase all the good ones. And of all places, it was Rock in Rio. But what stood out was how open he was. He told fans that if they really wanted him out of Journey, he'd leave. He asked them to vote simple, go or stay. If 1 million said go, he'd quit for good. He wasn't overreacting. He was worn out, in pain, and sick of proving himself. But then the comments came flooding in, this time full of love. Fans supported him, telling him not to listen to haters. They said every singer has bad nights, but real fans remember the whole story. They begged him to stay because the passion he brings still means everything, what fans never knew about that night. The guys in Journey stood up strong for their singer Arnel Pineda. Drummer Dean Castronova went on Instagram, pushing back against the hate and fully supporting Arnel. He said Arnel has given everything for years, dealing with tiredness, pressure, and all the hard parts of the job. Dean reminded everyone that a voice isn't a machine, it's alive and can have good and bad days. Blaming someone for that isn't fair. He praised Arnel's kindness, strength, and big heart. Then he got personal, telling critics to leave Arnel alone because he's not just a bandmate, he's family. Behind the scenes, more was happening than people knew. In an earlier interview with Ultimate Classic Rock, Dean said Arnel had been dealing with a voice problem for over 10 years. Nobody knew. But when he started working with a vocal coach and they made one easy change, turning down the stage volume, everything got better. Dean was surprised. For 14 years, Arnel pushed through without complaining or asking for changes. But then a new sound guy named Tom came and it all turned around. Dean said Arnel sounded bra, and knew after 15 shows his voice was strong every night. Jonathan Cain, the band's keyboard player for years, showed support too. He posted online thanking Arnel for his 16 years and saying he's not going anywhere. It was a big public show of loyalty when Arnel needed it most. Then Neil Schon, Journey's founding guitarist, spoke up about the real problem, the sound at Rock in Rio. Neil said Avenged Sevenfold, the headliners, caused the issues. They controlled the festival sound and limited Journey's audio so much the crowd barely heard them. Neil shared a video showing the audience still having fun and called the hate fake. He slammed blogs criticizing Arnel, saying they were paid off, and told Arnel to ignore it all. The drama kept going. When fans asked if Journey's own sound guy could fix it, Neil said no because equipment can be locked with passwords. When someone wondered why Avenged Sevenfold headlined over Journey, Neil blamed politics. Avenged Sevenfold hasn't answered any of it. Some fans noted that Evanescence played between the bands and didn't have sound problems, which made people question more. Finally, Arnel spoke again. In an Instagram video, he said sorry to Journey fans for any mess he caused. He admitted the band isn't perfect and things got messy, but said the world is hard right now and everyone has struggles. He waited a bit to speak because he needed to think. His main message was that good still exists even in tough times. He thanked supportive fans and said it touched him deeply. He wasn't asking for pity or attention, just connecting with people facing their own fights. He talked about the online hate, racism, and attacks he's gotten since 2007, but every time he's down, good people lift him up with kindness and support. That keeps him going. He said it showed him there's still lots of good in the world. To the haters picking on his mistakes, he said using someone's pain for your own gain will come back to you, the universe notices. And for people chasing dreams, he said if you get your chance, take it seriously. Do it with love, give everything, and make sure you have strong people around to help when it's too heavy. Through all the pressure, hate, and watching eyes, Arnel's love for Journey never changed. 17 years later, he's still amazed he gets to sing for them. Fame brought him the world, but also made him a target in some ugly online corners. Even so, he's still here. And right now, he's not leaving. Why everyone thought he was jailed. A crazy rumor blew up online about Arnel Pineda, Journey's lead singer, and it shocked fans. A YouTube video said he'd been sentenced to life in prison in San Francisco, a huge and scary claim that surprised everyone. To make it worse, the video used the Fox News logo without permission, making it look real to people who didn't check. The timing made it confusing. It came out just days after Journey finished a great show in Las Vegas. In only 2 days, the video got almost 700,000 views, spreading a total lie that Pineda was convicted of abuse and locked up. But here's the real deal. Fox News never reported anything like that. No real news outlet did. It was completely made up. Fans started asking on Pineda's Instagram, some sad, some confused, many just wanting answers. That's when Pineda spoke up himself. He didn't make a big deal, but he made it clear it was fake. In his quiet way, he let followers know he was okay, definitely not in jail, and not facing any charges. People close to him spoke out too. Jenny Moore, a longtime friend, went on Facebook to stop the rumor. She said Arnel was safe in Manila, hanging with his kids and getting ready for the next tour. She was direct, warning that spreading lies could lead to legal trouble. His manager, Yoel Sess, said the same, calling the video false and harmful. He said Journey's team supported Arnel and was already working to get the video taken down from YouTube. Fans didn't believe the rumor. Many commented defending him, calling it fake and mad about how fast lies spread online. One fan, a mom from Queens, said it was sad people would do that just for views. But it wasn't just fans. Filipino-American artists and leaders spoke up too. They worried about mixing fake news with real reporting, and some thought it was on purpose to hurt him. Vic Perez, who worked on Arnel's U.S. shows, said he knew it was fake right away. Others asked people to check facts before believing shady sources. What happened to Arnel shows how strong and dangerous fake info can be online, where anyone can make a video look like real news. Even vloggers like John Baguio started telling followers that if it's not on a trusted site or easy to find, it's probably not true. Meanwhile, despite the noise, Journey kept going. Last year, they canceled some UK and Ireland shows because of legal issues between keyboardist Jonathan Cain and founder Neil Sean. But they finished the rest of their 50th anniversary Freedom Tour and ended it on March 16th in Las Vegas. The show was awesome as always, with fans loving the sound and energy. Next, they're playing in Canada in North York on July 19th, proof that fake rumors or band drama can't stop them. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, please like, subscribe, comment, and turn on post notifications to stay updated with our latest content.